Okay.
Mother of Christ, gently holding him in her arms, comforting with her gaze, with gentle loving kindness. She's the first one he sees and loving. He cares for her even more, knowing she is divine from the Father of most pure love. Herod searching to kill Christ, joy and sorrow at once, they need to hide. Joseph protects them, showing the way how to avoid wicked Herod's plan to destroy the infant Christ, to destroy the infant Christ and his mother divine. Egypt welcomes them, provide a shelter. They live there till the hero died. Christ is always content. Christ is always loved by Joseph and the mother must be your love. By Joseph and the mother must be your love. What a great unity, what a divine love, Father of most pure love, looking at the Virgin Mother from above, and helping her in everything she needs. She sings the songs for Christ the King. No one ever can sing like his mother, like his mother. Her voice sweeter than all the birds of paradise. She sing the songs for Christ the King. No one ever can sing like his mother. Her voice sweeter than all the birds of paradise. Than all the birds of paradise. Thank you so much for listening. I composed that song yesterday for Christmas performance, and Peter Palmer today in studio, so we have first attempt to
played it for the first time.
That's fantastic for the
Yeah,
first
I love it. I like the little birds singing.
Yes, yes. This is a song I was not able to sing it today on 3 occasions, and we still persevere. And after presenting Vitaly Tchaikovsky and Swan Lake, and I hope to sing it again, then I could not start it again, and then we still managed to break through that song. And the concept here of the song that actually Mother of Christ, she has the best voice, and she's saying to Christ the best songs, and this is need to be known to the mankind that her voice is sweeter than all the birds of paradise. And that's why Christ was so loving, because she poured on him so much love, and St. Joseph did, and Father was pure love. That's why he was just pure love, full of that love, you know. And of course, when you're full of love, you want to share that love. You want to, you want to pour it on people around you, correct? And it's also said here then that Egypt welcomed them and provided shelter for them. So it means they basically were rejected from Jerusalem, because they say Jerusalem is so holy and it's so amazing, it's a Jerusalem, while Jerusalem actually persecuted the divine love, the mother and the Christ. They were not even able to deliver the child there in peace, apart from being in a stable and plus being persecuted then when the child is born. So Jerusalem really did not welcome Christ, because nobody even let them into their houses, and nobody welcomed them. So they were actually rejected. And only in Egypt they found the welcome, where they lived further, and they Christ was starting walking there, and he was learning how to be a real man. And then when Herod died, only then they came to Jerusalem again to receive the further criticism from Pharisees and the threats that they stoned him to death when he was speaking the truth. When he was speaking about his loving Father in heaven, they did not like it. And the teaching of Christ didn't seem match with the teaching of Pharisees. And there was like unending misunderstanding, and Pharisees always want to kill him on behalf of Herod, even if Herod died, but Pharisees still want to do what Herod wanted to do. And he was basically always persecuted in Jerusalem, and meanwhile he was healing the sick, and he was calm and loving as he was always pure love. And the mother, of course, was always protecting him and praying for him, because she knew the situation, how the Pharisees hate him. And then at the end they still managed to crucify him and destroy their pure love. And the Mother of Christ still stood by the cross to the end, and giving him inspiration, love and support. And she rather died with him on that cross. And John, beloved, the only one disciple out of all his 12, he was the faithful who held the mother's arm and gave her support when she basically fainted in the vision of seeing her son suffering so much. And she felt also the sorrow of the Father in heaven as well. So it was like sorrow, unending sorrow. And John was so brave, and he was holding that basically whole heavenly sorrow on his arm. And therefore the Christ from the cross said to John, "Behold your mother." So he entrusted to John, the only faithful disciple, his own mother, as an inheritance, because that mother for Christ is everything. And all the knowledge of heaven is in her heart. All the knowledge of Christ's love and life in her heart. She's like the walking gospel, you know. She knows everything about Christ, all his habits, what he liked, what she did, where did they go, what did they do. It's like every mother on earth knows about everything about their children. They remember what kind of clothes they wear, what kind of toys they play. The same thing So the mother of Christ is a live gospel in the body, and she knows everything about Christ. So when you see her, you know everything about Christ, and she can tell you all about heaven and the real Father, most pure love. And that's what the Pharisees tried to destroy. They tried to destroy all the teaching of Christ and the teaching of the mother, because after the death of Christ's mother was very badly persecuted by Pharisees, and they want to kill her and torture her worse than the Christ. But that John, the beloved disciple of Christ, to whom he entrusted the mother, his own mother, to him, can you believe it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So he basically adopted him to the mother. And the John's mission was to protect now the mother, against whom the whole world was there. All Pharisees were trying to catch her and kill her because she was the mother of Christ, correct? So, and then they run into the mountain and they hide on a very tall mountain. I don't know where, but there's some mountain in there. And they hide from Pharisees. They could not even get down to go shopping or relax. They forget about relax. So, and she was hidden in a mountain, and Father Most Pure Love was hiding her and preserving her life, because she couldn't go shopping. I had no food, and she probably was freezing and cold, and all other inconvenience was snakes. And John was providing for her, the beloved disciple of Christ. That's why it's even in the Bible said he was always beloved, he was always faithful. He always stood by Christ or by the mother, and he was always with them. And then, as you remember, when Christ was resurrected, he of course visited her on the mountain, and he comforted her. Yes, but he was already in a resurrected body, and he comforted her, and he saw how much she suffers. Yeah, and from then on he was always comforting her. And that's how John, the disciple of Christ, he talks about the woman and the son. So he, basically when Christ was visiting the mother, she was, she was, let's go, transfigured as well on the level of Christ, because he was already transfigured, so she had to be transfigured to be his sphere. And that's how John, the beloved disciple, saw her in the son, because she was transfigured when she saw Christ with all his love and shining and glory. Then he saw how the mother of Christ was also shining in glory to be with him together, and they embrace each other. And that's how John writes in Revelation that she was woman and a son. So only he talk about the woman and the son because he's only worthy one to see her being in that son with the Christ when he's already resurrected like a son. He's all shining with glory. And she was also shining with glory when she welcomed him. He hugged her and comforted her. So they were both in the sun, And John had the privilege to see that miracle on that mountain. And then, so Christ was always comforting the mother. And sometimes she was suffering so much and so intensive for conversion of future of the mankind. And she was suffering, basically carrying the cross of Christ. And he used to appear to her and comfort her on musical instruments. So he played on many musical instruments, string instruments, and every time when he saw the mother, when he talked to her, he cannot comfort her, and she could not hear him or respond to his comforting. And the only way he could comfort her through the music, and he was playing to the mother, Christ was playing to the mother on musical instruments to comfort her. And only through music she was able to feel less pain and get more comforted. And that's what John Beloved picked up from the Christ, how he comforts the mother with musical instruments. And he also been taught by Christ, John Beloved, how to play some of these musical instruments as well. And of course, John the Beloved disciple of Christ was observing conversations between mother and the son, their loving conversations with each other. And he was admiring it so much, and he said, why don't we write it down, what you're just saying? And they said, no, we cannot write it down because Pharisees later will change it all up and it will never be known to people as it is. Therefore, please don't write anything, just absorb it and enjoy basically what you see, but it's impossible to describe what it is. So therefore, for only very unique disciples who are very faithful is the mother of Christ. She opens to them as a helper, and she, as you know, because she's a pure virgin, she expects everybody around her to be virgin and pure, with pure thoughts, pure intentions, and being pure virgins, you see. Means pure, chaste souls can be only in her presence. And that's why lots of people do not like her, because they do not like to be in chastity and virginity and purity. They do not like that concept. Therefore, they cannot even see her or know her or embrace her, because nothing impure can go around the virgin and all the pure sphere of heaven. Nothing impure can enter into heaven. Therefore, now we have given now the time on earth to get purified with our thoughts, with our mind, with our body, with everything what we possibly can improve on our character and soul, that will be allowed to enter into the sphere. And to enter into the sphere, you need to have unending lot of love, not only to human beings, but to the animals and birds and all animals. You know that cows, and you should not eat animals, and you should, just like there's so much work need to be done on your soul before you get to heaven. And this time is given to us on earth to learn and practice how to love, how to forgive, how to be better, how not to be annoyed, how not to be angry, how to control your anger, how to breathe in and breathe out, and be ever patient, like in heaven expect us to be. And because our hearts are so hardened up with these days activities, we seem to get rougher and rougher with each other, less caring, more indifferent, more jerky, more irritable, more selfish. We now need to become kind of 1,000 times more at what heaven requires. And how can be kind of 1,000 times more if you're already hung up by loving animals? Because when you touching animals, you automatically softening up, and you speak softer. Did you notice when you see kitty, you get, oh kitty, like you go in that very soft voice without your realization. You become kinder for that kitty at that moment. But we need to be kinder like that with people, with other people, and we need to learn. It's a skill to learn how to be kind. And that's what we hear on the planet Earth, through the experience, through all our hardships, through all the things we're going through all injustice and lies, still remain. Like Christ, he was also falsely accused all the time and persecuted. So we also on this planet Earth will go through the same. But we still have to remain as pure and as good and as kind and loving as Christ was. Therefore, Christmas is reminding us that we have